Jawaballs!
Okay, hey there, how you doing? Today I'm gonna do a little bit of blending on this Blood Angels Whirlwind here. So here's the deal. Here's what it looks like with just blood red on dragon red, and this is why I'm such a fan of the paint. All I did was some highlighting with blood red over dragon red. That's it. Two colors have touched this model. You can see the range that's possible using the blood red over the nice deep red background of the blood or dragon. So what I want to do today is show you how I do this and what I do. So here we go. First of all, I'm using blood red straight from the pot, and I'm using a number 0 Reaper Kolinsky brush. This brush is very well worn. If you can see the tip, it's taken a beating. Let's see if I can zoom in there. Can you see that? Anyway, it's taken quite a beating over the years I've had it, or 2 years, and that's okay. So here's what I do. Using a small amount of paint on the brush, I dip it in there, and then I drag the tip across the surface of the armor plate that I'm painting. And then I just kind of drag it down, back and forth, dragging it down in a circular motion, back and forth in a circular motion. Drag the paint across the edge, then in a circular motion, back and forth, dragging it down towards the armor plate. So what this does, with the paint being on the tip of the brush only, and not on the entire bristle, is the paint has a higher concentration on the end than it does towards the body. So it's naturally just kind of blending itself right on the surface of the tank. A little bit of saliva or water also helps to kind of blend it in. Right on the surface. Now what you see here is a little bit of a heavier line where I applied the first jolt of red. So now I'm going to go back with a little bit more color, kind of apply it a little bit lower, and then blend it in with a circular motion. Again, always use the tip of the brush to collect the paint. See, hardly any. The brush will kind of feather itself out, that's fine. There you go. Now if you look here, this is where I was talking about earlier how when I sprayed it with the red on the black, I left some of the darker areas showing. My painting was thinner here than it is here. It's more red. And this creates a natural blending that I can then take advantage of. I'm not even going to go all the way down to the inner area. I want that dark. Here I'm painting quick. Just want to get it in. I don't care that this recessed area is darker than this area. In fact, I want that. That's called contrast. This darker plate will push this plate further in space. It's a good thing. So again, here's the technique on this plate. I'll drag the red across that plate, then kind of just blend it down. Look at that. Fairly nice. My brush was a little bit wet with the saliva. Yes, it's gross, I know. Alright, that's about 5 minutes, so I'm going to cut this one now. But so you can see kind of how I do it. My little technique. Frankly, I can paint this tank with just blood red over dragon red and have it be done. Have that be good enough. Don't really need to do much else. That looks fairly good. Now, ideally what you'll do is you'll do this in a few applications. You never want to try and layer on the red so heavily at first that it starts to flake or break or crack. It's meant to be layered on. So put one layer on, let it dry. If you need to, come back and add some more. Over here on this side, that's what I did. This is probably 2 or 3 different attempts at doing the layering. Especially up here, you can see the richer, broader, not broader, but a smoother transition from light to dark here and here. I need to work more here. This is too rough still, but you can get a very nice smooth flow, which I'll try and get, you know, now that this front armor plate has dried a bit. I'll come back here and add some more. Just dragging that paint down towards the plate. And there it is. The Jawaballs way of painting tanks. By the way, I am taking commissions. I'm kind of ramping up my commission efforts here, trying to buy myself a house. I need to make a down payment. So if you're looking, I've already got 2 commissions in process, but if you're looking for a Jawa commission, you want me to paint an army for you the Jawa way, let me know, and we can work out something. Won't be cheap, but it will be beautiful, I can assure you that. Alright, I'll be doing another part of this as well. I'm just making a lot of content right now, and I'm not sure how I'm going to use it all, but yeah, there will be several parts. So definitely more to come. Alright, bye-bye. Okay, here we go. This is the next part of this little short video on painting Blood Angels tanks that I'm creating. Now I'm going to use red gore to kind of accentuate the blending that I've created here. So basically all I'm going to do is take the red gore and lay it into the recessed areas, like here for example. Up and down first, working in reverse. Working from the recessed areas and dragging it out towards the edges. Circular motion again. Dragging it down the recessed area, then kind of circular motion, pulling it out towards the armor plate. Let's see if I can swing around here. You see how this darker color here really kicks the edge of the armor plate and makes it pop? That contrast created by the light and the dark is what makes that effect. Here I'm going to just do the circular motion with the red gore on the inside of the armor plate. This will make the outside edges kind of stand out even more. And I'm not even doing any highlighting at all. I'm doing no line extreme highlighting on this. It's just blending. Fading. Not really blending. I'm not really blending any color at all. I'm just kind of layering on top. Not the easiest thing to do from sideways around the camera. So you see how putting this darker color in here kind of pushes the edges back out, it makes them pop even more. One compliment I always get about my tanks is how they pop. They really snap on the table. This is how you do it. Working with contrast. And this is something I learned back in Basic Painting 101 when I was in college. A light next to a dark, the dark will force that light out in space. I almost just spilled my water everywhere. That would have been terrible. I'm going to try and fix that roughness that I had left here with that red by starting down here and pulling the red gore up over the blood red. Trying to blend it in. I want to transition from light to dark on this door. And again, I'm using straight out of the pot. After time, you'll develop yourself a formula for how you do this, where you add the lights and the darks. I add the darks from inside this crevice here and pull it out, and in here and pull it that way, and along the bottom here I'll add the darks. I do it the same in all of my tanks. Helps with the unity of your army. But also, though, you know, you kind of develop your own little pattern for how you paint. It helps you to get done your army quicker and more consistently. I'll do a little bit on the smokestacks here now, especially underneath here. It'll be a darker color underneath. Now I'm just kind of stippling it onto the top here. Still in the frame. Just kind of stippling and pushing and dragging that red gore across the blood red colors. Voila! That's really all I'm going to do. I will come in a little bit later on and add a highlight of blazing orange, and then maybe in some spots add a ball red wash. Though I don't like the finish of the ball red. It's too matte, too dry, and too dusty looking. And then over the very extreme edges, I will add a 50-50 vomit brown and blood blazing orange highlight on the edges. And there it is. Here's my whirlwind for the YouTube Blood Angels project. Alright, hope you enjoyed. More to come. Okay, here we are. This is my Blood Angels Whirlwind for the YouTube Community Paint project, and the first layer of blood red is almost complete. This is just blood red on top of dragon red, and I've done all the sides. I have to go and do the top now, but you can see how it looks already with just blood red. And next I'm going to put the red gore in there, and I started some of the red gore here to kind of smooth out the blood red. I need some more, and it'll help over here on this side. So there it is. Jawaballs technique for painting Blood Angels tanks, the new and improved Jawaballs tanks. I used to do this very orangey scumble, using a lot of blazing orange, blending with blood red and blazing orange, which made my tanks very orange. Now I do a very similar thing, but I use red gore and blood red instead. Makes my tanks much more rich and much more red and dark, rather than that bright popping orange I used to have. Alright, so here it is. My Blood Angels Whirlwind for the YouTube Community Paint project. I'm pretty happy with